So, you decided to stop relying on an online teaching platform and you want to get set up as an online teacher independently, but you have no idea where to start. In this video, we're diving deep into my exact setup for online lessons off of a platform. Make sure to stay until the end because I'll reveal the best way to overcome overwhelm as you're making this pivot. Hi there, my name's Katie Geddes and I'm a full-time online music studio owner and an online teacher business coach. Make sure to grab my 30-day guide to teach online, linked below. All right, let's start with the first essential part of my independent online teaching setup when teaching online without a platform, which is my 4-step sales process. The first step of my sales process is an inquiry form. Whenever a potential new student is interested in enrolling in lessons, I guide them to this form. I host this form in ClickUp because I just host everything in my business in ClickUp, but you could also host this in an email marketing platform, on your website, or simply in a Google form. Once someone completes this form, they receive an automated email, and this email invites them to sign up for a free trial lesson with me. In this email, I also include a scheduling link for them to sign up for this free trial lesson, and that link I host in a Kartra, but you could also host that in something like Calendly or Acuity. I also include a link to my lesson policies document in this email. So first, let's talk about my lesson policies document. This document is to keep things transparent and to set expectations for what families are getting themselves into. It outlines all my important details like my rescheduling policy, cancellation policy, how they're going to make payments, how much lessons cost, as well as some other guidelines just to make sure that we establish a respectful and positive relationship right from the start. I encourage families to look over this policies document before our trial lesson. I write that all out in my automated email as well. So let's talk about that free trial lesson. I offer a free trial lesson because this gives me a chance to show off my skills as an online teacher, and it also gives me the chance to sit down with the parent or the adult and make sure that they truly understand all the policies, because let's be honest, they're probably not going to read my policies document. And so I really want to sit down and talk them through it before they really commit to online lessons. So I usually do about a 25 to 30 minute trial lesson. And in the first half of that, I'll work with the student and I'll meet them where they're at, and we'll do a couple of activities to get them started and to win them over. Then in the second half, I'll sit down with the adult and we'll walk through the most important policies that I feel like they really need to know about. We'll outline those together and we'll talk about whether they want to commit to lessons or not. This way, we're all on the same page before they really register. Side note, if you're unsure of where to even find students for your online lessons, I have a video coming out next week that's all about how to find students to teach online without social media. So make sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss it. Okay, so the next part of my independent online teaching setup when I'm teaching online without a platform is once the student has committed, I take them through my onboarding process. Again, there are 4 steps to my onboarding process. First of all, I send them a welcome email. I customize this and I try to make it really personal just so they know how truly excited and honored I am that they have signed up for lessons. Then I, of course, include some important information on next steps for them to complete before they're truly signed up and ready to go. The first thing is that I want them to complete a student information form. This form is really just to collect any information that I might need about the student or the parent. This is things like the student's name, their age, the parent's name, the email, the phone number, any previous experience that they might have had in music lessons, and more. This way I can really design the best experience possible for that student, and of course, if I ever need that information, I have it ready to go. Again, I host this form in ClickUp personally, but of course you could host this in Google Forms really easily. I also use this as a chance for them to check that they have read and understand and agree to the lesson policies document that we talked about in our trial lesson that of course I also sent for them to look over. That way, if anything comes up in the future, I can clearly show, hey, you agreed to this, and that way I can maintain my policies if anything was to come up. Next, I add them to my student management system. I use a management system to streamline all things like scheduling, invoicing, payments, and I use a tool that I really do love that's called FONS, F-O-N-S. It really helps me stay organized and it takes a lot of tasks away that I know would take a lot of time that I don't need to waste my time doing. So I can really focus on what I love most, which is teaching these students. I know some other really popular management systems for tutors are Tutorbird or Teachworks. Another one that a lot of music teachers use is called My Music Staff. And finally, once we have completed all of those steps, I will send over a thank you email, thanking them for completing all of the things that they needed to do to get set up. And I'll probably send over some resources for them to get ready for their first lesson, like maybe a checklist for them to get set up or some sort of video tutorial on how to set them up for that first lesson. Okay, at this point, you have officially onboarded your student and they're ready to take lessons with you. This is a huge win. You know what I would love is if you would send me a message on Instagram and share this win with me. It really makes my day to see messages like this. Go ahead and give me a follow because I share online teaching tips in my stories and posts all the time on Instagram. Finally, the last part of my independent online teaching setup when teaching online without a platform is managing students and what I do week to week to actually work with them and to actually teach them online. Let's talk about some of the tools that I use in our actual lessons. So first of all, let's talk about a video call software. I personally still use Zoom. I'm used to it. I've experienced it a lot when teaching online with the Outschool platform. I think it works pretty well, so I'm still using it in my lessons off the platform as well. Next of all, of course, you want to set up your curriculum. I personally utilize the tool Canva to design and create my own curriculum from scratch. I know not everybody wants to do that, but I really, really love lesson planning and using my creativity in this way. If you aren't interested in doing that, then of course you could do a Google search online and look for some curriculum within your niche. Just make sure to reach out to them when purchasing to make sure that you have the correct commercial rights to use this in your online teaching lessons. And finally, for student notes, I simply use a Google Doc. I write a message there every single week with the date at the top. I put a link to our call recording, which I simply upload to YouTube. And so I put the link in our student notes document each week. I also put a plan for students to practice and what they need to focus on throughout the week before our next lesson. If there are any sort of external resources that they might need, I upload those to my Google Drive and I'll just link them in that Google Doc. So it's really a hub of everything that they might need. And that's that. Okay, so are you feeling overwhelmed on how to get started teaching online independently? Then you should definitely check out my membership, the Online Teacher Academy. This is a monthly membership and a community of online teachers who connect every day in our Facebook group and of course in our monthly Q&A call. Check out the link below to learn more about it. And there you have it. That's a behind the scenes look at my exact online teaching setup for teaching online independently. I hope that this was helpful for you as you get started teaching online off the platform as well. If this video was helpful for you, then please make sure to give it a like and hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.